Cool. So yeah, we're gonna start talking about the hackathon, what we saw there, and 655 related things from that side. And then yeah, Jaden actually he was a finalist, so he as a one man army, he ended up becoming a finalist, building something that would be extremely useful, I think, for everyone here who has to deploy contracts across chain. And yeah, update on MPC Day. So we're in the middle of completing the final edits for all the talks from MPC Day. MPC Day was extremely successful. I think we mentioned it last week. A lot of folks showed up, incredible builders and all of that. And if you've seen my tweets, like we were actually at a mud event or Lattice. If you've heard of Lattice, they built mud.dev. They had an event in New York on Monday this week, 4 days ago, and the people in the room were just incredible. A lot of folks were at MPC Day as well, and the way I've been thinking about it is the autonomous world, works hand in hand with everything everything that we've been doing, and we, by meaning everyone here in the community, for rallying around ERC 6551 or Tokenbound accounts. I think that there is a real reality that the worlds converge. And so one thing I wanted to put out there is, if anyone is going to DevConnect or to Istanbul, let me know, ping me. We'd love to kind of support you. Maybe there's like some community effort on that front that we can support. I think as a team, we probably we probably won't make it to Istanbul. I mean, right now we're kind of on the fence, but we've just been traveling a lot, and we think it's best to kind of sit down and for the remaining of the year and just construct a lot of things alongside with everybody here. So yeah, if you're going to Istanbul, just shoot us a message, and I think it'd be great for the folks to kind of rally there. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it from the high level. The things that are top of mind for the rest of the community is, I think there's a lot of focus right now in the general Web3 space around consumer applications. I think, like, we'd love to, as a team, from the FP side, support any of y'all if you are constructing like really cool applications. Like, I think in the next few months, let's, as a community, like, let's help each other, right? Let's help each other, whether that's even jumping in to the code base and helping push PRs, or like giving product feedback, or let's just team up with one another and let's start launching crazy stuff, because I think it's actually a really great opportunity now. Now that the space is like recentering around building consumer applications and all of that. So think of us as a steward, as a resource, as like a extra pair of hands that you may need, or extra bouncing board for ideas. We're here to help you and support you on your journey. So cool. I think that's pretty much it from my end. I'll pass it to Jaden for Jaden, you want to talk about the hackathon project, or even demo that, because I think it's helpful for folks here, and then maybe even just talk about V3 updates and like where that's at.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, y'all, for showing up to the weekly dev call. Could do all three of those. I know we do usually do intros, so want to make sure that there's some time for people to do intros. If you want to chat a little bit about who you are, what you're working on, what projects you've been a part of, and so if this is your first dev call, if you just like to reintroduce yourself to the people who are new here, feel free to just pop off mute and give a quick intro.
We got a lot of shy folks today, but
That is okay.
yeah, if you want
Figured
to
I'd give.
type the intro, that works too. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Figured I'd give some airtime to folks before we dive into like building stuff. But yeah, awesome. So this week was great. We were in New York for two things. One was MPC Day, which was awesome. As Benny said, we'll have some videos of that. One thing I did want to highlight from MPC Day was a demo that we did with the Lens team. We've been talking a lot about Tokenbound accounts and how they exist cross-chain, where your NFT can live on one chain, but your Tokenbound account can live on any chain. And we actually had the first demo of that at NPC Day that we did with Brad from the Lens team. But so I'll do a quick demo of that if folks are interested in seeing it. Let me just pull up my screen here. Alrighty. So let me know if y'all can see it here. This is the Tokenbound account of Bradley's Crypto Venetian. This is a mainnet NFT. So this NFT lives on mainnet. It doesn't live on Polygon, where Lens Protocol lives. But you can see that this NFT has a Tokenbound account at 0x03658B. And this Tokenbound account owns a Lens handle on Polygon. And so we've been working a lot. I know you've probably heard a lot about V3 and some of the cross-chain stuff coming down the pipe. This is the first time we got it live and functioning for a demo. So this Crypto Venetian on mainnet owns this Lens profile on Lens, and we were able to create the very first post on Lens from a mainnet NFT. So this post here was created using a Tokenbound account, going across a cross-chain bridge and executing using a Tokenbound account on Polygon, which then called into Lens. So we've got it's kind of the first of many demos on that front to come, where Tokenbound accounts acting as agents across chains, despite the NFT living on a single chain, is going to be a really big use case, we think. So this is something pretty cool. This is the first social media post by an NFT on the Lens protocol. So pretty cool to be able to work on that with Brad and the team. And then keep an eye out for some more Lens integration things that we'll be showing soon. I know the Lens team is super excited about a lot of the Tokenbound account things coming down the pipe. We had the chance to meet the Lens team in person and the Orb team in person and chat about some of the things coming down the pipe with V3. So keep an eye out for that. But that was pretty neat. So NFTs now live cross-chain with Tokenbound accounts. This is part of the feature that we've been working towards for the last little while, and now it's cool to see it here in its early stages. And once we're able to pass off the V3 contracts and deploy them, this will be active for everyone to start building on. So that begs the question, when V3? I know we had talked a little bit about potentially launching it at NPC Day. I know some folks are really psyched about it. People are like, hey, are we launching them yet? They're not live yet. We want to make sure we have a really good migration guide for you all when we release them. And so there's still some documentation things that we're working through, as well as we're waiting back for the results of the audit that we have done. So not yet, but soon is the answer on V3. And for those folks who are new to the call here, what V3 brings is this cross-chain functionality, so Tokenbound accounts existing across all chains and being usable across all chains. And B, it brings a whole bunch of new execution models to Tokenbound accounts. So previously, the execution model was if you own the NFT, you can execute single transactions from the Tokenbound account. Now there's a couple of new models. So if you own the NFT, you can execute batch transactions from the Tokenbound account. So your Tokenbound account can execute multiple transactions, multiple operations in a single transaction. If you use any other smart contract accounts, you will be familiar with batch execution. The other is nested execution. So because you can have a token tree of NFTs owning NFTs owning NFTs, previously you would have to traverse that whole tree within your call, which was some pretty crazy call data encoding. Now you'll be able to execute just against the lowest level Tokenbound account. So if an NFT owns an NFT owns an NFT, you'll be able to call into that third level NFT Tokenbound account and execute directly against it. This will be really interesting for folks who are building game mechanics or things with really deeply nested NFTs, and we'll save a ton of gas on that side. The third thing that we've introduced is multi-account transactions. So if you own 5 NFTs and each of those NFTs owns a Tokenbound account, you can, in one Ethereum transaction, execute an action from each of those 5 accounts at once. And so even if you have many NFTs that you're managing the Tokenbound accounts for, you're able to execute transactions there. So there's a couple more things that we're doing there. The big thing is we want to make it so that you guys can go absolutely crazy with the different on-chain structures you can create with Tokenbound accounts, while still being nice and easy to work with and not having to worry about the details of setting all of that up. So that's the V3 contracts. They're coming up very soon. We will have some documentation. We will have a migration guide if you're using the V2 contracts in your project. We will have some other things for you there to help make that transition as smooth as possible. We do have some partners that we're working with on that migration already. And so if you are building with Tokenbound accounts and you would like some early sneak peeks of what that's going to look like, or some hand holding as you do that migration, please feel free to reach out. Feel free to DM me, Benny, anyone on the team, and we're happy to set you up with that. And then we'll be posting in the general group as soon as that's kind of ready for prime time. So yeah, that's V3 contracts. I will do one other demo. I guess I can show off the hackathon project that we did this past week. Let me just pull it up here. All right. Let me share my screen here. Alrighty, so this is a project called Safe Create 2. The name might change, but the idea is that deploying smart contract addresses across multiple chains is hard. We've done this for both versions of the Tokenbound accounts contracts so far, where we deploy the implementation address at the same address across every chain. And if you're doing permissionless deployments for things like the registry, where nobody owns that contract, it's really easy. We include the instructions in the EIP. Anybody can deploy that. But for contracts where it's permissioned, where there's somebody that owns that contract, it's quite a bit harder, because you have to either worry about managing private keys and making sure that you never increment the nonce accidentally, and therefore mess up the address at which you deploy all these contracts, or you have to set up a Gnosis safe on every chain that you want to manage these contracts on, and every Gnosis safe has their own unique address on these chains, and those unique addresses make it really hard to have the same contract address on every chain. So cross-chain deployment is pretty hard. And we, as we're looking to deploy the version 3 contracts, I was like, I wonder if there's a way that we can fix this and make this easier, not just for our team when we deploy the V3 contracts, but for every team. And so that's where Safe Create 2 came from. If I just connect my wallet real quick here. What it'll do is this will pull in my safe. I'm just going to connect to Gurley real quick, do a demo. Cool. So I'm not connected to Gurley. And what this will do is this will pull in all of my Gnosis safes on Gurley. So these are 2 Gnosis safes that I manage on Gurley. Now, if I pull this in, you'll see this is the contract bytecode that I'm going to deploy. There's a nice little CLI command if you run npx safe create 2. That's not actually up yet, but if you run the local version of that we developed the hackathon, it will give you a unique link that passes the contract bytecode that you want to deploy into the browser. So I've clicked on that link. I'm in this place, so I've got this contract bytecode. And what you see is the exact address that you're going to deploy the smart contract to before you even start doing the deploys. You know what the deterministic address for this contract is. And if you change the salt, which changes the address, it will change the address that you deploy to. And now you can deploy this on any of the chains right now that Axelar supports. Because what happens under the hood when you do these deployments is your Gnosis safe sends a message to a cross-chain bridge such as Axelar, which does the deployment on the destination chain, but via the bridge. So you know that it's coming from a single safe on a single chain. You don't have to worry about nonces and doing contract deployments on every chain. You just worry about managing one single multi-signer safe and executing those transactions across a cross-chain bridge. That's really nice because, unlike nonce-based deployments, you don't have to worry about accidentally setting the wrong transaction and then never being able to deploy the contract at that address on that chain again. You also don't have to worry about managing 20 Gnosis safes if you want to support 20 different chains. You can have just one Gnosis safe on one chain with one set of signers that's responsible for both deploying contracts to different addresses on different chains, as well as managing those contracts. As a part of this, we created a simple cross-chain ownable contract that allows you to manage and do admin actions on those deployed contracts via the same bridge that you deployed them. As you can see here, we've already deployed this contract to Ethereum, to Polygon, to Arbitrum. You can just pop open the, well, I guess I'm sharing a single tab, so I can't pop that open, but you can pop it open in the Explorer with the view button. Now, if I want to hit deploy, this will prompt me for signing a transaction, and this transaction will be on my Gnosis safe. So if I tap this here, and then I just change the tab that I'm sharing real quick. So this is the test Gnosis safe. I can see there's a call to the Safe Create 2 contract, and I can execute this like any normal safe transaction. And when I execute this, this is going to call into the bridge, which will cross the destination chain. In this case, I think it was CeeLo. And on the destination chain, it will deploy the smart contract at the predetermined address. And so this is really nice. It means that all of your management of all of your contracts and all these different chains happens through one Gnosis safe on one chain. So as long as you can keep one Gnosis safe secure, have a really solid security setup, you can secure your smart contracts on every chain and securely deploy to the same address without worrying about accidentally making it impossible for you to deploy those contracts. So this is some early tooling. This might get a little bit more polished. We'll hopefully do a little bit more of a release of this, but this is really tooling for us to manage our own cross-chain deployments and help out with that. So this is, as you know, one of the ethoses that we have is if we build something and it's really useful, we want to release to the community. That's what we did with 6551, and as we continue to build things in this arena, that's something we'll continue to do. So if folks are interested in that, feel free to DM me. I can walk you through what it would be like to use that approach for your own smart contracts, but this is likely going to be a tool that we will release beyond just using it for the Tokenbound account contracts. I think that's pretty much it on the dev side. I know we usually do demos on these calls, so I've kind of jumped the gun and done a couple of demos, but definitely want to open it up to the floor to anybody who is interested in doing some demos, even just chatting about projects you're working on and some of the things that you're thinking about when it comes to Tokenbound accounts. There's questions you have about Tokenbound accounts. Just kind of open the floor to all of that for anyone who'd like to share. Man, tough crowd this morning. All right. I guess it is early in the morning. Everybody's sleeping. Benny, take it away.
Sweet. Cool. Yeah. Welcome, Martin. I'm gonna put Martin on the spot because I know him. How's it going, Martin? How are things on your end?
I'm good. Sorry, let me move to another room. I'm good. Yeah, I just saw you tweet the screenshot and I saw the meeting link, and so I just joined. But I'm good. It's the evening over here.
Oh, yes, nice. In France, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Adrian and Audrey, how are things on the Spartan Lab side? What love to hear if there's any things that you guys are working through or any challenges that you guys have.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, actually, we do have, so one of the things that we're working through with Spartan and Kiosk is a light paper talking about NFT applications. So this is something that like internally we've been thinking through and trying to get a structure around, like wrapping our head around what an NFT application could look like. So we actually just kind of created like a very beginning work in progress light paper. Let me find the link and then maybe I could share it. We definitely want it to be like a community involvement a document, like a living document that we can all like riff on. So if you all read it and you have any comments, questions, or things that you would like to add, you could definitely shoot me a DM, and anyone who kind of helps review it and add to it, we will definitely put you in the credits of this paper that we're trying to build as a community. Let me just find the link. Just a sec. But yeah, NPC Day was totally awesome. I enjoyed all of the presentations. It was a great time, definitely.
Yeah, it was great to see you there, and yeah, Audrey and the Spartan Labs team, like Adrian and other folks, have been really great support on all that. So great. Thanks for that's amazing. Thanks for sharing that, and folks definitely should contribute and take a look at that. Mind, I'm gonna put Mind on the spot. Mind, how are things post Loot 2 release? Like what is your current feelings of the release, and how do you feel in general with the engagement?
Yeah, we have seen a lot of engagement, and now we're thinking about the continuation of like Loot 2, but then we also need to balance with other like features and products that we're building. But for everyone else, like context is that like we built, I'm from Station, and we built like a little experiment like Loot 2 just to better showcase the power of 6551, but also like the automation around like trade distribution and equipping. So yeah, that's something we launched last week, and to showcase how it could be like the future of like community building. You start with like a simple NFT collection, but then each NFT can be an agent that acts autonomously within the ecosystem. Yeah. And right now we're mostly working on a product and refining some like sign in as NFT accounts so that it's more interoperable with all the dApps versus like just working with different with like limited number of dApps essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Martin's comment is amazing because yeah, I think it's kind of hard to grasp it 651 until you actually play with it. So it's great that you know the station team is really good at building that type of interface and experience. So super cool. Junie, how are things on Spacebar?
Hi. Yeah, we're doing really good. So it's like national holiday starting from today in South Korea. So a lot of the team there is going on a long vacation. But like yesterday, we had a chat around how we want to kind of keep an on-chain score, a leaderboard using like on-chain data. And I think like utilizing TBA and adding structure of how it pulls in data and then receiving data from individual users. We're like discussing about, that way of like curating a leaderboard, or anyone could create a leaderboard based on on-chain data with our game. So there's a lot of internal discussions going on. So it's going to be like a ton of like experimenting internally as we build up our product. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I probably could do a quick demo.
Yes.
Not of the scorecards, but let me get my 1 second.
I think this would be the first demo of Spacebar. While you get set up, Junie. Oh, he's probably doing permissions. I think after Spacebar Deacon, it'd be cool to touch on RDFs. It's been interesting to see this friend tech wave come, and I can't help but to think friend tech plus NFTs. Well, more so from like a DAO governance standpoint rather than a bonding curve, but I think that there's definitely opportunities there. Like even thinking about Loot 2, what Mind is and the team is working on, like there's some potential of like combining the ERC20 governance tokens that people acquire for a set number of NFTs, right? So yeah, definitely a lot of things to think about. Welcome back, Junie. Let me give you. Oh yeah, I think you have the ability to share. So yeah, take it away.
Yeah, there's just too many screens on my laptop. Sorry for that. But okay. There you go. Actually, can you give me like 1 or 2 minutes so I can
Yeah,
set
no
it up?
worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, all good. Maybe we let's pass it to Deacon for now. Hey, Deacon, you want to give an update on DAO House and RDFs? And we actually had a chance to link up with Amin. Amin was at ETH Global New York Hackathon, so we were telling him about it.
Awesome. Yeah, I could even maybe give a little demo. It's kind of like in what's in development mode, but I guess in the interest of showing people the idea and getting the telling the story a little bit. This demo could help. But disclaimer that there will be dragons. I'm currently in the middle of the dev server running locally. Yeah, but besides that, so the RDF stuff, I guess quick context, I was working with Jekyll and Silo, thinking about how there's a lot of NFT communities, and there may be another way for them to engage with their communities by creating some on-chain governance, which could equate to them managing shared treasuries, managing on-chain actions together, and also kind of gives an airdrop to all NFT holders. So let me see if I can share real quick. It's always a little dangerous sharing in the middle of a dev session, but so there's kind of two sides of this. There's going to be a kind of summoning form. Basically what we're doing here is we would take a current NFT collection, and we're going to give it a name. We've been using Fluters because it uses a certain kind of ERC20, which is fixed. So fixed loot. We call in the DAO world, we call a certain kind of representation in the DAO loot. So anyways, I'm getting too deep into the context there. You can create a meme token. So you just give it a name, give it a symbol. You set a claimable supply. This will actually be going to like a contract that each NFT will be able to claim from, and a remaining supply, which would be managed by the DAO. I don't know, we're just putting random things. And then it's like, okay, how much will each NFT be able to claim? Let's do 420. And then in here, we would put our NFT contract. This is on Girly right now. And this is just one we've been testing with Rise of the Fluters. And then we just hit summon NFT. And that's going to actually, I mean, it's doing kind of a lot behind the scenes. It's setting up the claims. It's setting up the DAOs, the different Gnosis safes, which are used as treasuries to hold the meme tokens or to hold any other assets that the DAO may eventually have. And then while this is running, so this would run this, but I can hop over. So this is what the admin page would look like. We have a claim section showing, these are the NFTs that I own. And so each of these NFTs now can claim some of the meme token that was created in the last section. So we would just say claim. That's going to deposit these meme tokens into the TBA. So it's kind of like these TBAs are acting as NPCs in the DAO. In the case for me, I own all these. So these are all like going to be my power building in the DAO. The meme tokens are transferable, but the actual power in the DAO is not transferable. So the power in the DAO is stuck to this NFT. It can be transferred. It can be all those things like a normal NFT. We can see our profile over here. There's some different stuff like you can see the ones I've claimed. We can connect directly over in the Tokenbound app. If we wanted to, we could even connect to the DAO as this NFT and act as this NFT. Or we have the power just to delegate. And so we can just delegate it right to the owner of the NFT if we want to delegate all these. One interesting thing that happened with this, which we didn't realize initially, was that this creates a form of liquid delegation, which is kind of cool because, with new tools around NFT, liquidity pools and NFT loans and things like that, you could actually delegate the NFT to yourself and then transfer it into a lockup into one of these things and still continue to hold your power while it's locked up. This is kind of a neat unlock that delegation hasn't had before. So you can see I've claimed some of these. I haven't others. We can connect directly over here if we wanted to. We can see like the shares is our actual voting power, how much loot, who each of these are delegating to. So this is kind of the start, kind of the rough idea. Then we have all of our other DAO options, a list of all the other members that have claimed, ways to change more in-depth settings around the DAO, our voting periods, our grace, create proposals and all special types of proposals that we can have, and we can see our safes. We can see our vault where we have these are Gnosis safes, the treasury safe being the rage quittable one, the Moloch flavor there, and then these side vaults which are going to be holding the meme tokens, all manageable by now these new members. Another really interesting thing about this is that when the DAO is launched initially and initially summoned, there's no members at all. So this is kind of an interesting thing. There's not like an idea of someone launching a DAO and having control of it at first as the summoner. It can be launched completely permissionlessly, and for every NFT collection, there could be an infinite number of DAOs, which is another kind of interesting thing. But here's a list of all the different tests I've been doing. And so this is like after you summon, you would land on this page and it would show you your new DAO that's summoned, and then allow people just to start claiming and just go claim away on your new airdrop. So that's the status there. Kind of an impromptu demo. I hope that it made sense and got people thinking about some of this stuff. It also, so we're doing this through Silo, which was a Jekyll and Rootdraw's project. If anyone's interested in getting involved or seeing more or like getting access to this probably really soon, then hit us up.
Awesome. That was incredible. Thanks, Deacon. We're going to switch it to, or I guess any questions from the community here?
Yeah, I have one which is very basic one, but I was trying to use the SDK today. Previously, I was just doing all these examples, but today I just find out that I can create account for any token. It's not owned, even it's not owned by any account, the same user. So is it the expected behavior, or am I missing something that I can, if its wallet is not the owner of the token, then even then it can create an account for it?
Yeah, that's expected behavior. So Tokenbound accounts are permissionlessly deployable. That means that anybody can pay the gas to create the smart contract for the Tokenbound account. But even if you, who's not the owner of the NFT, create the account, only the NFT owner will be able to use the account. So that's totally expected behavior.
Okay. But only the owner will be able to do the actions on the Tokenbound account.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Junie, you want to take it away?
Yeah. Righty. So this is basically our website, but if you click on one of these, just for smooth operation, I've already linked my MetaMask wallet, which contains all the assets to play the game. So like this is the interface of the game. It's very early alpha beta right now, but this is where the single player mode game is going to come, which is coming soon. But basically, we've created like a space where people who wants to build like a Web3 on-chain identity can basically bring any NFT from any marketplace or any collection and start like, claiming these spaceships. And like for here, this is like, we call it a backspace for many reasons, which would be too long to discuss. But like, if I long press spacebar, I can go into my backspace we're thinking of bringing in a lot of different like on-chain identity related or activity related information into this backspace. So anyone who creates an identity or brings their NFT to this place will be able to showcase like whatever they've been collecting and things like that in the future. And like what's I think cool is like basically if you go into the assets, this goes to the Tokenbound account, tokenbound.org, where it shows my NFT directly. It's already linked with my MetaMask wallet and shows all the assets. FYI, like for now, if you sign up on our website, we send you one of these W keys for whitelisting. And with this, if you log in, you can mint your own spaceship. All you need to do is just pay the minting fees, and everything else is free. But like, and at the same time here, if you go into the marketplace, it's already linked up with OpenSea. Again, straight away with the MetaMask wallet that you have. Down the road, we're hoping that it's going to be, instead of the OA, it's direct logging in with the NFT. And what the users are doing right now is they can like draw. Users can kind of draw and do star doodles. Oh, that's funny. It's funny how it's always like this when.
It's the classic demo.
Go to the square. There you go. So so every week we choose someone who doodles within the square, because like you can utilize these squares and draw in the space anything you really want. Write and draw. This is one of the drawings that a user has done last week, a smaller version. So we created a 4x larger version so everyone can doodle together. And that guy owns an Ether PFP. So he's making his identity with an Ether PFP. And because he won like the doodling competition last week, his PFP NFT is portrayed in this what we call a portal. So if you go, anyone can go into this one and see who he is. I mean, there isn't much information right now, but like just like what I did with mine, you can go here and link up to OpenSea, or you could go to the TVA account here. And see what's in his NFT as a collection. Right now, he only has badges and the spaceship SBT. So like down the road, like I guess you can imagine how this would be more of a social layer where you're linking up with all these different PFP NFTs as an identity layer that sits on the EOA, but like logging in with the NFT and then playing the game, socializing with other PFPs, and it's just a playground for all these different on-chain identities. And what I was explaining before I was doing the demo was like, you know, like when the single player game comes is you can basically play the game and get high scores, and you can mint these high scores. And this place would be where the put up like all the on-chain scorecards would be aggregated into this this part of the game, creating an on-chain leaderboard consisting of scorecards that are owned by the users rather than on the server side. So it's like metaphoric experimentations of how DIDs would work in the future, but like playing around with bits and bobs from creating a game. So everything is really experimental here. And there's tons of ideas, and we're hoping to grow really, really slowly, but receiving like feedbacks from the users when when the community is not too big. And hopefully that can lead to different DAOs and different DeFis plugging into the system and like creating our own universe of people on Web3. So yeah, I'm hoping to get Jaden to do a demo next week here of like creating his account. So like let's see how that goes. It would be good if we can get a chat, Jaden, and like set you up with everything.
Awesome. Thanks for the demo, Junie. That's really, really cool to see. Well, we have Christina here from Lens. Welcome to the weekly dev call. We're just in the middle of doing. Yes, 100%. Let's chat, Deacon. Okay, Afrolabi, do you want to do? You said you had some slides here. I think you have permissions to share.
Yeah. Yep, we got some slides. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
Cool. Actually, let me share my whole screen so I could show a little demo. I'll just share tab. Cool. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So I've been working on a project called Waves. It's around connecting generative art and culture. And basically just want to start off with a couple why, what, and how Waves is. So why, first off, is around reimagining live experiences to have more utility for both the attendees, performers, and organizers. So right now, let's kind of focus on music festivals, but could apply to a multitude of IRL experiences. Want to focus on deepening the fan and artist bond by creating a digital and physical touch point for post-event interactions via Tokenbound accounts. And then thirdly, rewarding creators for their art with a business model centered around creators with fair royalties. And last thing is connecting people with similar interests based on what NFTs they collect, helping people find their art communities. And yeah, so what is it? This is the start of a collective of creatives and engineers that are building projects that are meant to help connect people and using new Web3 tools. It's an open protocol, so it's built around two core primitives, both a synth and a wave, both with their own registry for creation, alongside with attestations with ENS for proof of actions when you attend a performance, and then zero knowledge for privacy and security. And thirdly, it's a suite of progressive web apps, so trying to build this completely without using the App Store and just kind of define that tech way of building things and be fully web-based. And yeah, lastly, just digital band with no physical footprint, only a digital storefront, which at times pops up in the web. And so how that works is the 3 C's, and then I'll show a quick demo of what is currently built. So the first thing you do is create a synth, which the organizer of the event will create for attendees to be able to mint from. And when attendees mint, they get a Tokenbound account. You can kind of think about it like a synthesizer or like an empty marker box or Crayola box that you're getting before the event. During the event, when people are performing and you're going to different sets and different performances, you could collect waves. And you collect these waves and they're owned by your Tokenbound account. In the marker analogy, you could think about it as like each set you go to, you're getting a different marker, like a different color, and you're adding it to your collection. And then the last thing you do is after the event is cop some art. So an organizer would whitelist the art contract that you could mint from. And then post-event, you go to a website to purchase a print of that art on a piece of apparel. And the waves that you collected are used as color input for the art generated. So that helps to create like a unique, representation based on experiences, but also at the same time be unique. So yeah, just a quick demo. So this is currently, so it looks like I'm already logged in. But how it works is this is just the app collecting interface. The other two haven't been built yet, but here you'd have be able to collect your see your synths and then see the waves to collect. And you'd come here and collect your wallet. And you can see here I have 2 synths, one for Coachella, one for Lollapalooza. And if I were to click into one, then you'd be able to see basically the different waves that you could collect. Here we have Drake, Jungle, Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift. I've already claimed Bad Bunny. And this is another feature that's hasn't been implemented, but ideally, once you own a wave, you could access the house, which is a token gated room where you'd be able to like chat and interact with other people that have the wave. Same thing with the synth as well. If you open the back, you'd also be able to open the house. And here's where you would claim waves. This is on computer, so in case you see anything, you might see my face for a quick second. Hello. But yeah, so this is basically what's built. And I'll just go back to the slides to finish up. So the last thing is kind of the future actions, creating more waves. So that's expanding the wave properties to be more dynamic with like properties such as sound, even like turning waves into like music stems or stuff of that nature. So I kind of touched upon this a little bit by adding some token gated features for holders of respective tokens that enables attendees to interact with similar interests and get updates. Web3 social integration, integrating with protocols like Lens, so enable the minting of synths and waves through actions so that waves can be used for a multitude of different activities. And lastly is kind of the more apparel side of things, is doing order smart contracts and getting a DTG service set up. But yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. Thanks for that demo. I was saying in the chat, Sweet Man, you should link up with Afolabi, and there's certainly a wave of people thinking about music. And even in New York, we were chatting with David Greenstein, founder of Sound, and it's something he's thinking about right now. And for those who don't know, like I've been in the music NFT space for a while, like teaming up with Stems DAO and David Greenstein on Sound. So it's I think that even if Cooper, who founded Coop Records, he did actually the first music NFT drop on the fan pass. So if I share it with you, I'll find the link and then I'll send it to you guys. But yeah, they dropped like a music fan pass, which had music singles dropped in there every single week, which is super cool. Cool. I think we're close to time. Juhyun, do you want to do a quick demo or something that you would like to show?
Yeah, sure. It's gonna be really short. So,
Yeah.
Am I able to share my screen? Yeah. So yeah. Hi guys. My name is Hyun from SkyGG, and I try to document like projects building on 6551 and categorize them by like organizing like an ecosystem 655 ecosystem map. And yeah, totally agree with Benny's intro and wish this map can serve as an entry point for projects to cooperate and give recognition to projects utilizing the new primitive. And this is basically why I started joining the dev calls, and I really love to put your projects on the map. And yeah, you can always DM me on Twitter or Telegram, and yeah, we'll have a chat about your projects. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Hyun. Sorry, I never saw the writing, so of course, good to see you again. Thanks for sharing that. Cool. I think, is there anything else, questions, technical questions, or anything else you guys like to demo in the next 5 minutes? No. Steve from Pinata, how are things on your guys' end? What are you guys thinking about from that side?
Yeah, we're actually, it was funny because we had a team at New York City this weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go. I was actually at another hackathon in Kansas City. But me and our VP of product, Justin, have actually been working on like a proof of concept for AI and NPCs and trying to get like a working demo up and running. And we're actually really close. So who knows, maybe next week we'll have something up and running for you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, excited to see. Cool. Well, I think we're good to wrap up then. Thanks everyone for coming to the 24th weekly dev call. We're nearing almost half a year. I think half a year would be the 26th. So 2 more weeks of that, then we've done this for half a year. So incredible. Yeah, I think, you know, this since day one has always been a rallying point for those who have technical questions or want to do a demo. But as we kind of reach the halfway point, we want to like work with the community to figure out, you know, what's the most productive thing we would want to do here. Is it continuing on with the weekly dev calls, or do we want to like find other ways? So something that Angela and the team has been thinking about. And also like the Telegram group is growing, right? Like it's 1,600 plus now. There's definitely pros and cons, right? Like I think those who have been a part of it since the early days, it was like you know, a lot of awesome intimate conversations around like the standard and all of that. But you know, as we all know, like when things start to get up a lot of numbers, it's kind of hard to like have that closeness, right? So something we're thinking about on our end to ensure that the builders have everything that they need and they're connecting with one another. So we'll keep you guys posted on that front. Yeah, I'm unfortunately I'm kind of anti Discord, so I kind of lived the last 6 years of my life on Discord, and I have 4,000 notifications that I have not read now. So I don't know about y'all, but yeah, it's a bit heavy. So cool. Awesome, everyone. Thank you for showing up early morning, late night, mid-afternoon. Really appreciate everyone coming here, and we'll keep you guys posted in the Telegram. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.